Let's talk about starseed spirit guides. Who are they? Do you have any? And why are they here anyways? Those are some interesting questions that you will understand in this video. Those who are new, thank you so much for tuning in. Those who've been with me for a while, love you guys, all of you starseeds and earth angels. Cats in space! Okay, so let's dive right in. I'm going to explain exactly what spirit guides are, what starseeds are, and how those two factors combine. And at the end of the video, you are going to have a huge understanding of this concept. So those who have not dabbled in the realm of starseeds, of galactic family, just very, very quickly, a starseed is a person, you or me, who has incarnated on other planets before this. Okay, so for example, I'm a Pleiadian starseed. Can you tell? Can you tell? And I've incarnated in many lives in the Pleiades. Then I moved on to Arcturus, so I'm also an Arcturian starseed, incarnated many lifetimes there, and then I came to Earth. Incarnated many lifetimes, and now I'm here. We know the concept of spirit guides. Those are higher dimensional beings who are here to help us and guide us because of the great forgetting that we go through when we come to planet Earth in a human body. We don't remember, we don't know who we are, we're kind of a little bit lost, and we need guidance. I do anyways. So there are several types of spirit guides I want to go through. The ones I am going to be talking about primarily are your inner circle of dedicated spirit guides. These are 4 to 6 guides that every person has that come in at different stages in our life. We are born with one spirit guide. We get one when we're a little bit older, 4 or 5. A third one comes in maybe at the age of 9 or 10, and so it goes until we have our complete set of spirit guides. So these are not angels, these are not deceased loved ones, these are not higher masters or other guides. These are intimate, dedicated spirit guides that we have throughout our life, and each one has a special function in our life. And these are the ones that give us the impulses, little messages, intuition that help us. So these are the ones that we communicate on a daily basis with, if we know it or not, consciously or unconsciously. And these are the ones who are specifically there for us. So the question is, why do they even come to serve us? What is the connection? I will reveal that later. Okay, but to know now the fact that if you are a starseed that has incarnated in other places and then came here, our spirit guides are also souls that have incarnated before. So they're not like angels who have not incarnated in a body. They're not like deceased loved ones who have lived with us and then, left the human plane and gone up and now are helping us. They're not those. They have incarnated either on Earth or on other planets and now are coming through on a spiritual dimension from a higher dimension to help us. So we have not known them in this lifetime. We may have known them in former lifetimes. And yes, they are part of our soul family in a very specific way, which again, I will reveal later. But it's important to understand that these spirit guides are very practical because they know what it's like to be a human. They know what it's like to be a person living a third dimensional heavy experience. So it's really great that we have these types of spirit guides because they know exactly the problems that we're going through, and they can see this from a higher level, from a detached level. So these spirit guides are souls kind of just like us, who we call in, who we ask, who we made a contract with to guide us from the other side, from being a soul, not being incarnated, to help us. And that's such a beautiful thought. So if you think about it, if you have incarnated as a soul in other star systems, on other planets, then your spirit guides may also have done the same thing. So that's why when you connect to your spirit guides, when you figure out who they are, many of them come through as star beings. Many of them come through as not 100% human form or human energy, because these are souls that absolutely have their starseed origin in a different place. And they can come from anywhere in the galaxy that people incarnate, right? They can come from parallel universes. They can come from Sirius, the Pleiades. They can be Procyon. They can be blueprinters. All the different soul groups that I've talked about already, and go check out that video. They can be any of these types of souls. And most of us have spirit guides that are of galactic origin, okay? I'm going to give you some examples of my own ones. I have pictures here that I printed out that I kind of looked up in the internet of the different spirit guides that I have that kind of reminded me of them. So I'm going to show you them in a minute and explain who they are. But first of all, just very quickly, I want to tell you the other types of spirit guides that you may think of. So besides for that inner circle of dedicated spirit guides, we have an outer circle of dedicated spirit guides. And those are also beings that have incarnated mostly, and they are also there for a specific reason. They have specific functions. Okay, so that's an outer circle of 12 guides that we don't communicate with so directly, because our inner circle are kind of like the messengers. They take messages and they have all the input from all the different kinds of guidance and are like spokespeople for them and filter it down to us directly. So we don't have to talk to like so many different beings on different levels, which could be a bit confusing. So inner circle of spirit guides, outer circle of spirit guides, the dedicated ones. Then of course we can have deceased loved ones who are there to help us and guide us because they love us so much. They're part of our soul family. And those are different kinds of spirit guides. Those are like a certain group of spirit guides that some of us have a connection to, some of us don't. Then we also have the angelic realm. So angels and archangels can also be our spirit guides, higher beings that have never incarnated, that are there for a connection directly to us. And also we have a connection to specific archangels because before we incarnated, we actually went into training. There are specific centers of training from each of the archangel realms where we spent time to learn certain gifts, to learn certain things that we need in our incarnational cycles. So we all have a dedicated archangel that we have a very close connection to. And we can have other angels as well. Then there are the higher masters, the ascended masters or higher guides. And we can have several different kinds. Just as an example, I have a team of Akashic record spirit guides, very specific ones with names. I know where they're from. And they were activated. They came through when I started working so much with the Akashic records, logging into someone's soul record. And they really help and facilitate the coming through of knowledge, the accessing of knowledge, and the journeying to past lives of a person I work with. So when I work with you in my private readings, I go into the Akashic records, I thank my Akashic record spirit guides, and they help me access and journey into your past lives and your starseed past lives too. So in another video, I'm going to talk about those guides more specifically. And the higher masters are like very high level, high dimensional masters that are there for your general, like more high level spiritual journey through time. Okay, so there are so many guides that we have. It's amazing. And I want to read you a short quote. So I've printed out several, messages that I channeled at different times just to illustrate this. Okay, so I was channeling and I wanted a message for me and other people just about spiritual guidance in general. How you like the glasses? I look like a school teacher. Okay, so just very quickly, a message of love from us. We are your team of light. We are the forces of light here to bring Earth into a higher vibration, to help Earth ascend into the 5th dimension. And we want you to know that you are a part of this ascension process and you will not be left behind. We love you so infinitely much more than you could ever know. We are your heavenly team, a large team made up of many different ascended beings. We are angels, archangels, spirit guides, ascended masters, higher guides. We are your team of light, the forces of light that are so needed on this earth and play an important part in this. Don't think that you are not important. You are. We are holding your hand, warm, firm. We are not letting go. The earth is ascending, and so are you with her. It is happening. You, starseed or earth angel, must do your part. All you have to do is walk in love, act out of love, and shine your own light. Many small lights illuminate the planet together. We are just one part of the whole. Okay, that was just one message that I was channeling in the ascension process, and kind of that message about the forces of light and the angels came through this. So that's just one little example of a frame of reference of the spirit guide team. So now I want to present to you, dun, 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 my personal team of spirit guides. And I'm going to make a video on each one of them. And I want to present them to you because as an awakening collective, if you're into all this starseed stuff or not, it doesn't matter. But it's about awakening and understanding the true essence of who we are. You awakening, understanding who you are. If you're an earth seed, if you're a star seed, we're diving deeper. It's becoming mainstream almost to know that, yes, I am a star seed. I have incarnated in other places. This is my essence, and I want to know who I am. I want to recognize it. I want to have that frame of reference to really bring out my true gifts. And that's why I'm going to, in future videos, always bring in examples from my own life. So to give you an idea of what it is that you can do. So my first spirit guide, I have a team of 6 beautiful spirit guides, and my spirit guides are all galactic cosmic guides. I don't have one single earther spirit guides, and it's because in this lifetime, I guess my mission is to really help awaken the star seeds and bring the consciousness of the starseed collective through. And for that, I needed cosmic spirit guides. And by the way, yes, we choose different ones in each lifetime. My first spirit guide, most of you know it already. This is what I printed. Of course, the spirit guides don't look exactly like it, but it's kind of a representation. Aslan, my Syrian lion being, spirit guide who has divine love as his gift. So this is such a beautiful, big-hearted, strong, ferocious spirit guide that I have, so loving and beautiful. And I met him on a shamanic journey first, and later I figured out he was my Syrian spirit guide. So he came through before I did all this like starseed and soul realignment stuff. I didn't know much about it, but he came through. So he's been with me from the beginning, and he is there as a protector and as a healer to me, right? Protector and healer. And he's from Sirius, and he is so strong and loving, and it's so beautiful to have an animal spirit guide. Like whenever I'm kind of sad, I just think Aslan. And you know, you can tell when I was a teenager, I read all those Narnia books. I loved them, and I resonated so much with Aslan. I was like, and I had lion pictures everywhere, and now I know why. So he said, yeah, I can call him Aslan. So that's what I call him. And when I'm sad, I just call in the energy of Aslan, and in my mind, I just kind of run up to him and like hug him. He's like a giant lion with such a beautiful soft mane, and I can just hug him and like put my hand in his fur, like with my little bugger here. Hey, little bugger. He's a representation, right? He came in because I needed to learn unconditional love from an animal and to represent him, right? So that's how I got my little Leo here. So he always reminds me of my beautiful Syrian spirit guide, and he's there to shine love on everything. So many times when I'm channeling him, he channels messages of love, and he makes me whole. When I first met him in that drum meditation, we ran across the savannah. I was holding onto him, and his mane was like ethereal threads of energy going into the universe and bringing back the parts of me that were missing. So that's the first spirit guide. My second spirit guide, her name is Mirabella, Mirabella or Chrysalis. She has two names somehow. She has two names. First one that came through was Mirabella. The second one was Chrysalis. I've had her for a few years come in, and she's my Pleiadian spirit guide. So she is very close to me because I am of Pleiadian starseed origin, right? So the Pleiadians really do, they look like this. They have the energy of the elves of that movie. They have like, they're usually long and slim and sleek. They have this ethereal quality to them. And she represents that, and she represents truth and insight and wisdom and psychic senses, clear seeing, right? Spiritual truth. So she helps me with that. She helps me with my clairvoyance, with my psychic senses. And she's actually taken me back to the Pleiades and showed me where I used to live. Food for another video. And the Pleiadian energies are so beautiful, like so emotional, a lot of emotion, very soft, very velvety, very strong at the same time. So we Pleiadians, we're very dramatic, we're very energetic. Can you tell? Okay, where did the light go? Oh, the light turned itself around. Okay, here we go. So, my third spirit guide looks like this. And this is a spirit guide from Andromeda. Okay, from the Andromeda galaxy, and this is an angelic being. So the Andromeda galaxy is actually kind of an angelic realm, all right, from this planet anyways. And the Andromedan energy is so beautiful. The Andromedans show up as beings of pure light, and they have such a gentle, unconditional love type energy. And this spirit guide is there to give me pure connection to the divine and to bring in light whenever I need light. So this is such a pure and beautiful energy, Andromeda. My next one, you're going to laugh, guys. My next one is this. Bum, bum, bum. Danny DeVito, or this. So when I first asked the spirit guide to step forward, and I saw someone that looked kind of like this, or like this, like a small chubby man, super dynamic, super fun. I was like, what? Like, okay, is this a joke? Like, what's going on? Am I imagining this? But then I went back out and back in again, and he came in. Definitely male. And then I found out this is my guide from Vega, the Lyran or Lyran spirit guide. And Lyra, Vega, is a star constellation of the muse, you know, of the showman, of talent, of art, of beauty. Like, it's really interesting and incredible communication. So the vegan soul group out there, they're the people who, as soon as they get on stage, magic happens. It's like, whoo, they are just so amazing and such communicators and so funny. So the funny side, the comedian, the quickness of talking and being on stage, that's what he helps me with. And his name is Kerlchen. It's like a German word of saying like little guy or something like that. So Kerlchen from Vega. Okay, my next spirit guide. Are you ready? Okay. Okay, well, I should go like this. This was the representation of what he looks like most. And the funny thing is, all these characters are ones that have come into my consciousness many times before. And when this movie first came out, I was like, I watched this movie like 3 times in 3D. I actually had this on my phone, this picture. And this was before I knew who this spirit guide, I didn't know about these spirit guides, but it just resonated so deeply with me. So this is my Arcturian spirit guide called Elron, right? So the Arcturians, yes, they come over as blue, but you know, when we channel the different people or the different souls from each soul group, you know that each planet went through different stages of evolution. And maybe now the Arcturians look a little like small, bald and strange. But to me, when I meet my Arcturian guide or other Arcturians, they look more like the people from Avatar, right? They're more tall and they're like really, I don't know, they look different. They look more beautiful than how Arcturians are usually portrayed. And Elron, he's amazing. He is like pure power. He is there to teach me independence, trust in myself and power. And he's also a commander in the galactic Starfleet up there, who are there right now in their plasma ships to help the Earth ascend and who send us energy. So if you know a little bit about all that stuff, he's one of them. And first I thought, how is it possible to have a spirit guide who's there at the same time and as my guide? But it is because, remember, time is only linear to us, to the third dimension. In other dimensions, time is not linear, okay? It's not. So we can have multiple things happening at the same time. And also I know that I have incarnated many times with Elron. I know it. And we had many different kinds of relationships, especially on Arcturus and up there as well, in the Galactic Council. So I've been part of the Galactic Council of the Arcturians and the Pleiadians as well. So it was kind of funny that she was called Mirabella, and then I always hear of Mira of the Pleiadians. I'm like, who's that? My Pleiadian guide was Mirabella. Maybe they're related. I don't know. I still have to figure it out. Okay, now the sixth spirit guide. This is Tristan from Mars. So I have a spirit guide from the soul group Mars. Oh yeah, so a warrior, someone who is really strong, someone who helps me manifest, who is very protected and helps me bring out the fierceness. So sometimes I'm a little fierce, and you know, in my readings I kind of go like this on the table. It's just that fierceness of spirit, the warrior spirit coming through. And now I'm going to reveal to you why these different star beings come and agree to be our guides. Why? You may be thinking, why? Like, is it just a random thing? Oh, okay, I'm going to Natasha's calling. Oh, I want to help. That's part of my mission. No, there's more to that. And this is the crux. This is the interesting part of the whole equation. Okay, and this will blow your mind if you don't know it. A lot of you already know this, but it's like this. It's like this. Think of a very high dimensional level when your soul is first born. When your soul first becomes separate, creator source is here and a little droplet comes off and becomes individuated at a very high level. Okay, and this is the essence of your oversoul, of the first splitting off from creator source, the first level of individuation. So I see it kind of like a big, energetic, beautiful consciousness. And as this consciousness filters down through the dimension, if 10th is creator source, to the 9th, through the 8th to 7th, this consciousness splits and individuates from here to here, right? And so this oversoul splits into several sections. And these sections are different souls at the lower dimensions. Okay, so at the very high dimension, it's one. And as we go lower in the dimensions, when our soul is first born, we individuate. And the oversoul actually splits into different souls. I don't know how many. I think it's between 18 and 24. 18 and 24, but I'm not sure at which level. I've visualized it. It's a hard thing to see. So when I make progress, I'll tell you guys. So all these souls have similar characteristics, and they come from one soul, so they are one. At root level, they are one. And those different souls go and make their journeys in different places. So one soul may go into this archangel realm of training, another soul into that archangel realm of training, and, you know, practice different things, learn different soul qualities. And then one of the, let's say it's 18 souls, may incarnate on Earth, another one in Sirius, another one might want to go to a parallel universe. And these, you know where I'm getting to? And these souls are all connected interdimensionally through time. And these souls are the ones that we call to be our spirit guides, because they are us. Your spirit guides are you at a higher dimensional level. They are your true intimate soul family, kind of like a mother and her children, right? But in a different way. So all my beautiful 6 spirit guides are part of me. They are part of me. I am them, they are me, even though they each are an individual soul at this dimensional level and live individual lives. And that's why we can say that we are truly multidimensional beings and live parallel lives in form of our split off soul parts, which is our soul family. So that's why your spirit guides are part of your soul family, and they're so invested in helping you, because if you screw up, you know, things reverberate through all the dimensions. If you screw up, then all the other 17, just as an example, don't know if it's exactly 18, all the other 17 are affected. So if you get into a karmic mess, if you screw up, if you start to become negative and self-sabotage and fragment your soul, and if all that stuff happens, this reverberates back and affects them negatively. So they don't want you to screw up. So they're like, okay, I'm going to help you in this incarnation because I don't want you to screw up. I want you to ascend, and I want to ascend. I don't want to have the reverberations of your mess affecting me. And that's why they come to help. And that's why you can call on different spirit guides in each lifetime who you know intimately at soul level, and who have great love for you because they are you. But that is the crux of it. Your spirit guide team is intergalactic. A lot of them will be starseeds. If you are a starseed and you want to anchor yourself into the earth, you may have mostly earth spirit guides. It's possible. It's all possible. All variations are possible. All right. So I hope this has made sense to you. I hope it rings a bell. And if you're interested in knowing who your spirit guides are and a message, I have that reading. I have that reading in my shop. It's called Spirit Guide Channeling, where I look at your team of spirit guides and I channel each one. I look where the spirit guide is from, what that spirit guide is here for, and the specific message the spirit guide has for you. It's a fascinating thing to know who is there to help you on a daily basis. And my spirit guide have made such a huge difference in my life. So it's really cool to find out about all of that. Okay, so let me know down below if you know what starseed you are, or if you know what type of spirit guides you have, if you figured it out, or tell me your thoughts about it. That would really interest me. Also, please share this video with anyone who you think would like it. Give it a thumbs up, you know how it is. Thank you guys, love you all. My beautiful soul and earth family, Natasha, Cosmic Empress.